Hi, my name is Leon Versfeld. I'm a US immigration attorney, and in this video we're going to talk a little bit about some tips and tricks for the upcoming H1B visa season. The H1B visa is a specialty occupation visa, and there's only 65,000 of these visas available. The start of the fiscal year starts in October 1, and the soonest that you can apply for these visas is April 1. So with April 1 falling on a Sunday this year, the soonest that immigration will accept your application will be Monday, April 2nd. It is very important, with over 200,000 applications that was received last year, that you stand the best possible chance that your application upon acceptance do not get rejected. And this is what this video is about. So we're going to make a little checklist and make sure that you and your attorney have the correct forms and have the right information so that your application gets accepted by immigration. The first thing you need to do is obviously make sure that your attorney has filed a proper labor condition application. This should not be confused with the labor certification that we do on green cards. These labor condition applications will need to set out what the prevailing wage is, where you're going to be working at, and what your job duties and titles are going to be. It takes about a week for the Department of Labor to come back with a certified labor condition application. As part of the packet that you're going to be submitting to immigration, you want to make sure that your attorney have a G28. This is a power of attorney that the attorney needs to sign and you need to sign, or your employer. He also needs to have a form I-129, a petition for non-immigrant worker. The supplements that is included with the H1B application is the I-129H and the I-129DC, standing for data collection. So these are your basic forms that you're going to need to include with your application. The G28, the I-129, the I-129H, and the I-129DC. So with all these forms in your packet, what is vitally important is that you also make sure that all of the information on these forms are completed. Stuff that are not completed may get rejected. And so it's important that you and your attorney go through these forms with a fine-tooth comb to make sure that all boxes are checked, and where appropriate, if it doesn't apply, just write the word NA on it. The supporting evidence that you're going to need then with your application is going to be a support letter from your employer that outlines the specific job duties that you're going to be fulfilling in this position, where you're going to be working, maybe a little bit of background about the company, and then also what your salary is going to be that you're going to have. Along with the supporting evidence, you're also going to need to make sure that your application is supported by the fact that you have the equivalent of the minimum of a bachelor's degree, in some cases a master's degree, and that can be a foreign equivalent. Make sure that your equivalency is being done by an approved and reputable foreign credential evaluating company. Credential evaluations can also consist of a combination of education and experience, or just experience. Immigration will take 4 years of experience to the equivalent of 1 year of college, wherein you would need at least a 4-year college degree in order to qualify for the equivalent of a US bachelor's degree. So let's recap. You got G28, you got your form I-129, I-129H, I-129DC, your labor condition application, your support letter from your employer, and then also proof that you have the equivalent of a bachelor's degree. The difference then becomes whether or not you are inside the country or if you're outside the country. If you're inside the country, we're going to need to have proof that you are actually in a valid legal status. Most of these H1B visas are done by students who are either graduating or who have already graduated. So we're going to need to make sure that we have proof from the school that you still have a valid I-20, and or if you're on OPT, that OPT is still valid. Now, do not be concerned that if you have an OPT that's going to expire before October 1, so in other words, it's valid until, let's say, typically May or June when people graduate, or you graduate in May or June, that we make sure that you are aware of what is called the cap-gap rule. This rule basically applies that if you have filed an H1B visa application before your student visa and or OPT is expired, and before October 1, and it has been accepted by immigration, that you would then be allowed to continue to work until October 1 when that H1B is approved. So through that cap-gap rule, that employment authorization will automatically be extended. Another thing that I think you need to also realize is that while you're in the United States, some folks may be working in different capacities or maybe on a different status. So we would need to make sure that we include a copy of your I-94, which you can get from immigration's website. So with all of that in mind, I think that you should be able to file your application while in country. It is important that this application consists of a copy of the entire application, including a G28, that if for whatever reason you would need to go outside the country to process your case, that a copy would have been scanned to the Kentucky Processing Center to be forwarded to the consulate. And then last but not least, if you are outside of the country and your employer is going to be filing this application for you, then it is important that you designate in your form I-129 which consulate you're going to be processing the approved application. Similar to an ordinary application, we want to make sure that you have a complete packet of the entire H1B application included when you submit your application. And then last but not least, the filing fees. Please make sure that you have the appropriate filing fees. The filing fees currently, as of the date of this video, consist of the following: a base filing fee of $460 plus a $500 fraud prevention fee. And then the last remaining fee that you need to include will be determined on how big the company is. If the company has more than 25 employees, the filing fee would be an additional $1,500. If it has less than 25 employees, you would only need to file a filing fee of $750. So with your filing fees, a G28, an I-129, I-129H, I-129DC, your support letter, proof that you have the equivalent of a bachelor's degree, and then your LCA, labor condition application, you should be ready to file your application. Now, before you put this thing in the FedEx, make sure that your application is going to go to the correct service center. There are currently 2 service centers that are processing H1B visa applications and will be for this fiscal year of 2019. It is either Vermont and California. And I want to direct you to USCIS's website to go to the direct filing search box to determine which center your application would need to be filed at. And finally, as of the date of this video, premium processing was unfortunately suspended by immigration until further notice. So when you file your initial H1B application for fiscal year 2019, premium processing will not be included in there. And finally, I get this question quite often. You unfortunately cannot have your employer file multiple H1B applications for you. They have a system that would immediately reject both applications that you and your employer will file if you file the same application in order to increase your chances of making the lottery. So I wish you and your employer all the best, and I hope that your case will be selected in this crazy lottery that we're about to face in this H1B visa season again. Good luck. US immigration law is ever changing and very dynamic, so I don't want you to miss anything. So like my Facebook page, follow me on Instagram, connect with me on LinkedIn, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.